these are the supplements you should never take if you're taking Adderall. The very first set of supplements that you should definitely never take has to do a lot with how Adderall works. First off, Adderall, how we know how it works, theoretically, is it helps with both dopamine and norepinephrine. But also Adderall has been known to help with even with people who have depression, sometimes anxiety, they'll use it, but mostly for people who have ADHD. Now that being said, there are certain supplements that also do play a huge role in the serotonin pathway that when you combine it with Adderall, can have some nasty side effects. And the very first supplement that we need to look at is tryptophan. Now, tryptophan helps with increasing serotonin levels. It's part of the whole serotonin pathway. And so when you take something like tryptophan along with Adderall, it has been known when you do combine those two, especially when you take L-tryptophan at very high doses with Adderall, is that it can cause serotonin syndrome. Now, serotonin syndrome happens is when you have too high amount of levels of serotonin. And when you're taking way too many supplements along with Adderall that enhance those levels, you can have symptoms of agitation, irritated. You can feel very stressed and can't really function. I've seen this firsthand, and it's not a pretty sight and something you definitely don't want to experience. Another supplement that has been very well known, and I've seen it also with patients and clients, that you don't want to be taking, another one that does impact the serotonin pathway, which is 5-HTP. Not only does 5-HTP help enhance serotonin levels, which can also cause serotonin syndrome when you combine it with Adderall, but it also has been known to really interact the effectiveness of Adderall in itself. That's definitely one I will not usually recommend for my patients and clients if they're taking something like Adderall. Along those same lines with serotonin, St. John wort is another supplement that has been known to help increase serotonin levels, but also help with depression. It has also been known when you do combine it with Adderall, it can cause serotonin syndrome. So I never really recommend St. John wort, whether you are taking Adderall or even if you're taking an antidepressant. It's not a good idea to take St. John wort. Now, if you're just taking St. John wort by itself and not taking with a medication, generally you'll want to be taking with any kind of mental health medication. Now, another thing that we have to look at when you are taking Adderall, well, you want it to be effective. You want to make sure that your body is absorbing the usage of Adderall so it can last a good duration, so you have that focus throughout the day. But there is other different types of vitamins that it can impact the effectiveness of Adderall. And the main vitamin that has been known to actually decrease the absorption of Adderall is vitamin C. So if you need to take vitamin C, I think vitamin C can be really great. You want to make sure you're taking that at least an hour or two apart from when you do take your Adderall. It's been known to definitely decrease its absorption. Even taking juice with vitamin C, your doctor should tell you this. You shouldn't take your Adderall if you're taking like orange juice or apple juice, stuff that have like a bunch of vitamin C in it. You definitely want to keep those separate from each other so that way you can utilize the absorption as much as possible with your Adderall. Now, if you're someone that struggles with ADHD, you should download my free ADHD health guide in the description below that goes over all the different supplementation, food recommendations, and also what labs to implement to help with your ADHD. So download that guide in the description below. Another big concern with people who do take Adderall if they have cardiovascular issues, especially if they tend to have high blood pressure or they also might have an increased heart rate. And if you're in that situation, maybe your doctor already has told you that you need to start with a very low dose of Adderall because you tend to run in that category. But you also maybe have been told that you can't take Adderall at all because it's too severe. But if you're in this category where you are taking Adderall and you have a little bit higher blood pressure and you might have a little bit higher heart rate, then the supplement you need to be really careful with is ginkgo biloba. Now, I love ginkgo biloba. I think it's a great way to help improve memory, focus, and cognitive output. But if you're taking Adderall, you definitely don't want to be taking them together because it has been known to actually increase your heart rate even more, as well as increase your blood pressure if you do take ginkgo biloba with Adderall. Now, another common complaint that people have when they're taking Adderall is there's lots of different symptoms. And some people also get symptoms of feeling a little too on edge, or they also might have the opposite effect where they might feel a little bit more drowsy. Now, there is a particular herb that might be contributing to this drowsiness that you might be experiencing with your Adderall, and that is valerian root. Now, valerian root is great to help you relax, to help if you have high anxiety, but you certainly do not want to be taking it with your Adderall, because when you do combine those two, it has been known to cause drowsiness and dizziness when you do combine those two together. So what should you do if you are taking Adderall, but you want to still take some of these supplements because they are beneficial, and I do recommend these a lot. So First off, definitely always check with your doctor first. I think that's always really important. They're going to have a better idea at scheduling your Adderall and also the supplements that you're taking. But what I usually will recommend to my patients and clients when I am working with them when they are taking Adderall is to take these at the opposite time of the day. So if you take your Adderall first thing in the morning, then you should take these concerned supplements more in the evening time where they have a big span. Now, if you can't do that, at least, like I said, with vitamin C, wait a couple hours before taking your vitamin C when you take your Adderall. But some of these other ones that sometimes I won't even suggest, it just depends how severe your case is. But always check with your doctor first. But that's what I would suggest, is to just separate them at the most opposite times of the day so that way they aren't interacting with each other. You're also probably someone that also is taking additional medication. So you should watch this video next where I talk about the supplements that you should not be taking with medication. So that way you're not bringing more detriment to your health. So watch this video next.